Now, just before we take a short rest as well, I mentioned a lot of, I hope really clear, the three steps so far. We need to calculate the test statistics to determine, or we call it compare with the critical region, right? It's as if the shaded area, which means it's the rejection of the H node, and if it's fall outside the shaded area, the left-hand side, which is the do not reject H node acceptance side. So do not reject H node area, okay, or we call it accept H node region. And then what is the Z alpha? This is the critical value. So it can be alpha, it can be alpha or two. So whether it's the two tail or one tail. So two tail here, your alpha must divide by two. One tail, your alpha only is left or right tail. Okay. So let me just go through a bit faster. Two tail test is actually the test of algorithms which are based on critical regions represented by both tail means left and right, and under the normal curve, we call it T curve. And you can see there are two boxes here, right? So the rejection region means this one. Can you share these two? Rejection region. So that is like what I show you in this one, right? This is based on one tail. So remember this one I draw two tail here. So this is the two rejection area. Okay. So anything test statistics outside means fall inside here more than the Z alpha or two or less than negative Z alpha or two. Then this is rejected H node. And the acceptance region is the white color one. You see, I leave it white. Okay. So which means if the test statistics, this is your test statistics, everyone. Your test statistics is the Z. Can I write here Z? So later you're going to use this formula to find your Z. Okay, what's the Z? Actually, I can show you what's the Z here. Those of you curious, what is how to calculate the Z? This is your Z formula. Test statistics. Now, X bar minus P divided by sigma over sub n. So I'll show you first. This is how later we're going to calculate. And we compare with this Z alpha over 2. So let's say if 2 tail 1, so alpha divided by 2, right? So if the Z value more than, I talk about positive, so means if it falls inside here, reject H node. Or if I compare the negative side, if the Z value, the one you calculate, less than the negative side alpha over 2, negative. Okay, so less than means you have to fall into the left hand side, smaller than now. I hope everyone know more than less than now. Okay, same thing, reject H node. This is for two tail test. Okay, now we go to one tail. One tail, as I mentioned just now, alpha don't need to divide by 2, right? So we have to consider right hand side or left hand side, either one now. So here, if you look at this table, this diagram, again you can see two boxes there. So this one, let's talk about right tail first. You see the alpha divided by 2, can you see? So I write down the critical region. If your Z score that test statistics like you covered just now, the formula, more than the Z alpha, I use positive because right tail. Right tail is for positive one. Then reject H node. Again, this is the shaded area. You here. Now let's talk about the left tail. Left tail is for the negative one. Same thing. If the Z score you calculate is less than means smaller than, to shade here, or inside here the negative Z alpha. Okay, then it falls here. This one also reject H node. Okay, try to understand these three scenarios. Any questions before we go on? Now, these are the three scenarios, and you will ask me, how do I know it's two tail or one tail? Very soon we reach there. Okay, before that, let's look at some of the important notes here. First thing, sign of H1. Sign of H1. Remember when I introduced the H node versus H1. H1 is the alternate. Sign of H1 can be less than, can be more than, can be not equal. Less than means left tail. So how we know that is a one tail or two tail? Guys, we look at what? Sign of H1. Sign of H1 tell us whether it is one tail or two tail. So just like us, right? How do we know it's two tail or one tail? So we look at the sign of H1, whether it is two tail or one tail. So when your H1 test is the sign is less than or more than is right tail. If less than is left tail, then both of these are what? One tail test. One tail, one tail. Okay, right tail means this one, no? Left tail means this one. See, both of these are one tail test, right? Only to divide by 2. If your H1 sign is not equal, listen carefully. Not equal means bukan kiri, bukan kanan. So it's a two tail test. That means your alpha have to divide by 2 already. This one not two tail. Okay. So this one alpha, alpha, this one alpha divided by 2. Okay. Memorize first lah. Later go back and digest. Okay. So I ask again, how do we know it's whether a one tail or two tail? You don't guess, you look at the sign of H1. Later, when you do the example, help you to read the question. Can see, can hear me? Chapter 5, right? Hopefully everything okay. Oh, can see me? Can you see my screen? Okay, the at home one can see me or not?
Can.
Guys at home can see my screen already?
Can.
I don't know what happened just now. Cut off or decay Wi-Fi. All right, I continue on. So just now I mentioned that how we know whether we use two tail or one tail, look at the sign of H1 now. That one everybody got it right. Now, the next thing is, I give you an example. Let's say H no always have the statement equality sign, which is the equal sign. See, let's say H no equal to 1, 2, 3. That means your H1 will be not equal. Now remember, H no and H1 sign always what? Always contradict. Remember, this one copy down, always contradict. Remember just like I say, girls are smarter than guys. H no. H1 say what? Girls are not smarter than guys. They always fight each other, contradict. So if H no says mu equal to 1, 2, 3, then the H1 must say not equal to 1, 2, 3. Always what? Lawan, contradict. When you see the H1 sign is not equal, remember just now what I said here? If your H1 sign is not equal, understood is what? 2 tail? Tails. So alpha has to divide by 2 already. So you write down here to remind yourself 2 tail pairs. Alpha divided by 2. Let's say your H no mu more than equal to 1, 2, 3. See your H no always have the equal sign. See, whether more than or less than always got equal one. Your H1 will be what? Less than. See, this one more than, this one less than, no? Always contradict. But you see your H1 more equal sign one. Say what? H1 got. So this is one-sided already, less than. See this one? Alpha no need to divide by 2. Anyone cannot follow? Okay, if your H no is less than equal to 1 to 3, so the H1, how do you write your sign? The body already more than this one less than, so this one more than already. And then this one for equal, this one for equal. Again, this one sided. This is right now. More than is right, less than is left. So these two no need to divide by 2. Anyone cannot paham, then I need to use another way to explain it. So, if you all go through this example, play around with this symbol, following the statement given below H no and H1. If the H no say the mean height of females is 156, let's say 156. So what is the symbol for H1? Is it this one is the question asked actually, is this H no or H1? They never tell you this is H no, this is H1, and so on. You have to identify yourself. The mean height of female in the country is 156. Is means what? Equal, right? So equal is for H no or H1. H1 cannot have equal sign. Only H no can. So H no or H1? H no. Okay. Another example. The mean annual household income is at least chapter 4. We have seen a lot of work. At least, at most, not more than. At least, what's the symbol? More than equal. So this one for equal sign, right? More than. H no or H1? H no. H1 no equal sign. H1 write down here. Note. H1 tak ada, no equal sign. Cannot remember, right? No other way. Our memory of which very short one, right? Today learn tomorrow forget. So right now, nothing to be ashamed. So at least got the equal sign one, right? So this one must be H2 already, no? Cannot be H1 already. So you write H2, then you know how to write H1 now. Cannot because contradict ma. Okay, one more. The mean life of a car battery is not more than chapter 4. Not more than this one. Can be equal or not? Chapter 4, you see the equality table. Not more than means less than. Got equal sign? Confirm. Check already. No equal sign, confirm, everyone? No equal sign means cannot be H0, right? Must be H1 already. So H1 is less than, right? Less than, then you know how to write H0. Your H0 should be more equal already. Cannot? Can you do the rest? I did this video all. So when you do the exercise notes later on, example, you know whether it's H0 or H1 already. Okay? Now this is the steps to do hypothesis. Can we do it in 10 minutes? Everyone? First step, write down your H0 and H1. State the null and H1. This one very important. You write wrongly, habis your rejection, conclusions, everything wrong. Step 2, determine the alpha and the critical value. Okay? Remember the alpha, the Z alpha, and the rejection region. Step 3, test statistics, select. So we have two formulas. Just now we learned mean and proportion, right? The mu and the p proportion. Remember the estimations? Okay, we are going to use two formulas to calculate the test statistics. Step 4, determine whether reject or do not reject. So you have to test with this normal curve, or inside or outside, whether two tail or one tail. Okay? Step 5, calculate the value. Number 6, make decision. Okay, so we start now. Make decision and give conclusion. Write down your conclusion. Okay, write down your conclusion. So these are another summary. I just quickly go through you all. Actually, we have seen the now. So your H0 and H1 the sign. See, H0 got equal, H1 not equal. So this is two-tail test. Or look at the sign of H1. Remember, not equal, H1 two-tail. And then for your H0, I can use more than equal. And then your H1 must be less than. Contradict. So this is left tail because less than one tail. If your H0 is less than or equal, then your H1 will be about more than. So again, this is one tail, right? Now, surprisingly, we also take note for number 2 and number 3. Besides using more than or less than equal, some textbook they can write as equal to like this also can allowable. But I don't say that you must follow up. Most people they don't want to confuse themselves. They write more than equal, less than equal. So you can write your H1 carefully. But those of you who want to write like this also can. However, make sure you be careful with the H1 sign. Okay? Right, this is the test statistics to calculate for Z. And this is for sigma, this is for S. Both of them is the same actually. Okay, so this is what I have shown you in the table just now. For two-tail test, alpha have to divide by 2. For one tail, left or right, alpha no need to divide by 2. Okay, and this is the one I write earlier here. Can you still remember this one? Remember this one I write here? Here. This is for the right tail, left tail, one tail, right? You can see here. This is the left tail. This is your right. This is two tail. For two tail, alpha divided by 2, positive, negative, is here. Okay, this one. This is negative, this is positive. Okay, so I hope everybody already take note all these things that you need to know. So let's start to do some example. Not finished, we continue next week. Okay, a company markets car tires. The lives is the car tire lives, not human being lives. Okay, normally distributed with a mean of 40,000. What is your 40,000 here? This is what it claim. Claim means what? Remember claim? I say girls are smarter than guys. So this is the claim. Claim what? The market, car tires, mean life. Mean life means can tahan for 40,000 kilometers. Car tire can travel 40,000 kilometers. After that, must change already. Standard deviation of 3,000 sigma. Now, a change in the production process believed to result a better tire. See, compared to last time, a car tire only can last 10,000 kilometers. Now can last 40,000. Why? Because they improved the car tire. So this is what happened. This is the old claim. I write down here, O means what? Original. Claim early one, 40,000. But now they improve the production. They make the car tire better. So now they test in the sample 64, N is 64. And then the new mean life, I call this new mean. This is O, I better don't use the word claim. I use O mean. O mean means the original one. This is the new mean, 41,200. See, X bar. Remember, X bar is the new. Mu 0 is the O. Try to differentiate between the symbol. If you don't differentiate the symbol, later your answer also will become number 1. Right? So many symbols here. Which one is which one? Better remember the symbol in the name. Okay, so can you conclude that? Now read the question carefully. Can you conclude means can you sure that the new product, the new tire is better than the old tire? Current one means the old one, no? The new one means the new tire. Test alpha 0.05. You see? Alpha even already. So I show you one, everyone. First step, write down the H0, H1. Step number 1 is written here. Step number 1, state the H0 and H1. Step 2, determine the alpha and the critical value. So you read this step 1 to step 6. So step 1, you already have the H0. You write that this mu equal to 40,000. This is what it claims. Now equal is 40,000. There's no word at least at most, right? So equal. So mean of the new tires and old tires are same. New and old are same. See? Equal. So what's your H1? Can you conclude that the new product is significantly better than the current one? So your H1, you have to write more than. Because you say new tire better than. What's the meaning better than? More than. So here you must write H1 more than 40,000, which means mean life new tire is better than old tire. When you write here more than, then this one you can write less than or equal. Remember, if your H1 is more than, always the value one. H no must write less or equal, or you can write like this, equal also, you see, remember this sign here. If your H1 more than, your H2 you can write less than equal, or you can write equal. Both way you can write. But how do you test? How do you know it's 2 tail or 1 tail? You must read this sentence, more than, better than. So your H1 is better than. So mu more than 40,000. So this is 1 tail or 2 tail? Remember, you look at the sign of H1, right? This is right more than means right one tail. So your H now you write less than equal or mu also doesn't matter. Okay, so alpha no need to divide by 2, right? Because one tail now. So what's your Z alpha? 0.05. Again, table 2, 1.6449, right? So your rejection region, if Z more than 1.6449, see this one? This H1, H0, right? Your critical region is this Z more than Z alpha. Z value more than 1.6449. So if I draw the normal curve, 1.6449 is here. This is positive, right? So now you need to calculate your Z. If the Z more than this one, means fall inside here. This is the rejection. If less than that, fall inside here, do not reject. So let's look at the formula now. Can we calculate this? This is a formula, right? Here, as statistics are X bar minus mean. So what's the X bar? For the 1200, right? Everyone, quickly calculate. Minus the mu 0 is 40. Divided by sigma is what? 3000 divided by sub n 64. So calculator, you get 3.2, right? So since 3.2 more than 1.6449, more than means what? 3.2, the value is more than 1.6449. So this is rejection. Remember the shaded one? Now remember the positive 3.2, you must have positive one. Positive compared to positive. If it's a left tail, you get here negative compared to negative. So we reject H now. Remember this side is rejection, H now. And what does that mean? Remember H now reject, H1 will be correct, right? Automatically. So H1 says what? H1 says mu 1, the mu more than 40,000, the new tire better than old tire. So you have to write conclusion. Everyone, remember, you must say reject H now because the Z 3.2, that's more than 1.6449. And then you must say conclusion. What's the conclusion? New tire is better than old tire. So this one give you 1 mark, this one give you 1 mark. Everyone, remember, this is your step. The last step, which is here. State the make decision and give conclusion. Okay? So this is the first example I show you. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and then calculate Z score. Step 4, write down your decision. Step 5, and then make a conclusion. Step 6. Okay, can we just go quickly one more example? Okay, the lifetime of an electric bulb produced by a process is 1,500. This is the O mean. So I use mu 0. Okay, O mean. And then to test a new batch, sample of 40, so N is 40. Make sure you write down all the symbols correctly here. And then they show a mean lifetime 1,110. So this is what? New mean. After they take a sample 40, they test the new mean for the light bulb is 1410, which is less than what? Less than the old, right? That means the new bulb not so good. The old bulb is better because the mean life is longer, correct? So you argue lah. So last time people say, wow, this bulb can last so many years. Now we buy the new bulb, why so loyal? The hour also shorter one. So you fight each other. Who is true? Hypothesis. Never mind, no need to argue. Test with hypothesis. So the standard deviation is 90. Then test the hypothesis. Read the question carefully. That the mean lifetime has not changed. What's the meaning has not changed? The old and the new one is the same. So how do you write your H1? And how do you write your H2? This is the danger. If you say the electric mean life has not changed, you want to write H1 or you want to write H0? If you say H2, because you say the 1005 is the old one, that means the new one 1410. So if you look at this question carefully, actually it's testing the new, the mean life is not equal to 1005. No change, you see? The lifetime of the cable has not changed, still 1005. Because the new one that test is 1410, the old one is 15. So not change means still equal to 15. That means your H1 will be not equal. Remember, contradict. So if not equal means has changed really. Change to what? 1410. That is the difficulties. A lot of people cannot set equal or not equal sign. Then they cannot answer carefully. So this is not equal means two-tailed, right? Not equal because H1 sign. For two-tailed, I show you everyone here. For two-tailed alpha 0.05, let's say, use alpha. So alpha have to divide by 2, right? Clear enough? Remember? Alpha divided by 2 means 0.025, right? 0.05 divided by 2. So from the table 2, is it 1.96? So your critical rejections now got two sides. See this table? Either positive or negative, which I show you in this graph already. See your graph here? Put here, whether it's positive or negative. So positive compare positive, negative compare to negative, everyone. So let's calculate your test statistics. Your test statistics here, can everyone calculate this first? X bar is what? 1410. The new mean minus the old. Always the new minus the old. We'll use from here the formula. Divided by S is what? 90. Divided by 40, right? Calculator, is it negative 6.325? It's already here, right? Okay, so this is negative. You see your Z value either positive or negative. If negative, you compare with negative 1.96. If positive, you compare with positive 1.96. You don't compare negative with positive. Positive compare with negative. Understand? So this is what left tail, right? Negative mark. So you have to draw the normal curve. Your negative 1.96 is here. So your Z negative 6.3 is lesser than this one now. So 4 is right here. Again, this is what? Reject H0. Right? Reject H0. So H0 salah. That means your H1 is correct. H1 correct means the lifetime of the T-bar has changed. So there's you say that there's evidence to show that the mean of the lifetime of the T-bar has changed. Which one is correct? So the challenge is to write H0 and H1. You see another everyone? I show you two examples, you already can see that. So when you do your tutorial, be careful. Don't write wrongly. Because you write wrongly the symbol, two tail become one tail become two tail. Okay, so I will stop here. You can do your tutorial and discuss with your tutors. And then I will continue a bit more next week. All right, for the proportion. So, any questions from anyone? Yes, we write H0 and H1. Okay, EG? Okay. Okay, other questions? If you don't have, I will stop recording. So see you all next week. Reminder, the e-test next Saturday, so you all have to prepare also. Okay, bye bye everyone. Okay, see you all next week. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye bye.